My Wife's Secret Shattered, Our Perfect Life. Posted by u/throwaway1986. Hey Reddit, I've been reading stories here for a while, but I never thought I'd have one of my own to share. This is a long one, and I'm still trying to wrap my head around everything that's happened, so bear with me. Chapter 1. The Perfect Life. To start with some context, my wife, Sarah, and I have been married for 8 years. We met in college and hit off almost immediately. She was studying art history. I was majoring in engineering. From the very beginning, we just clicked, like we were meant to be together. Sarah is smart, beautiful, and caring. She's always had this calm, warm energy about her that drew people in. We had the kind of relationship that made our friends jealous. We communicated well, rarely fought, and always supported each other's dreams. After we graduated, I landed a great job at a tech firm, and Sarah became a curator at a local art gallery. We bought a nice house, adopted a dog, and, on the outside, it probably looked like we had the perfect life. We were even trying for kids recently, thinking it was the next natural step. Our marriage wasn't just good. It was the type of love story you see in movies. Or at least, I thought it was. Looking back, I should have noticed the little things. Every so often, Sarah would seem distant, lost in thought. When I'd ask her what was wrong, she'd brush it off, saying she was just tired or stressed from work. I didn't push. I trusted her completely. I never imagined she was hiding something so huge from me. Chapter 2. The Email. About 6 months ago, something happened that set everything into motion. I was working from home one day, and Sarah was out running errands. I was using our shared desktop computer because my laptop was acting up. While I was browsing, an email notification popped up in the corner of the screen. It was from a name I didn't recognize, and the subject line just said, "It's been a while." I wouldn't usually read Sarah's emails, trust right? But something about it felt off. My stomach dropped. Against my better judgment, I clicked on it. The message was short, but alarming. Asterisk. Hey Sarah, it's been a long time since we last spoke. I can't believe we haven't seen each other in years. I miss you. I know you're probably busy with your new life, but I think about you a lot. We should meet up and talk, about everything. Let me know when you're free. Jason. Asterisk. Jason. Who the hell was Jason? I'd never heard her mention this person before. Was it just an old friend? But why the secrecy? And what did he mean by new life? I tried to brush it off, but something about the email nagged at me. When Sarah came home, I didn't say anything right away. I wanted to figure out more before jumping to conclusions. Chapter 3. The Investigation. That night, while Sarah was asleep, I did something I never thought I'd do. I snooped. I know. Trust is the foundation of marriage, and I was violating that. But the email had stirred something deep inside me, a gut feeling that something wasn't right. I needed answers. I started with her phone. She had a password, but we both knew each other's codes for emergencies. I unlocked it and went straight to her messages, but there was no Jason. Not in her texts, not in WhatsApp, not anywhere. It didn't make sense. Then, it hit me. She must be using a hidden app. After searching online for a bit, I found out how to check for hidden apps. Sure enough, there was one, a secure messaging app I'd never seen before. My heart raced as I opened it, but it required a password, one I didn't know. I felt like I was losing my mind. Who was this Jason, and what was she hiding? I considered confronting her then and there, but I knew I needed more information first. Chapter 4. The Truth. A few days later, I came up with an excuse to use Sarah's computer again while she was at work. I wasn't proud of it, but I figured I could find something if I kept digging. Eventually, I stumbled upon an old folder in her email account labeled Personal. Inside were a series of old emails between her and Jason. I read through them slowly, my hands shaking. The emails started about 10 years ago, around the time we had first started dating. Jason had been her boyfriend before me, someone she'd been in a serious relationship with, but they'd broken up just before she and I got together. In one of the first emails, Jason was asking to meet up and talk about their breakup. Sarah's reply was short, but I felt a pit in my stomach when I read it. There's something I never told you. My heart was racing. I kept reading. Jason responded, confused, asking her to explain. But she never replied. The emails went silent for several years, until just recently, when Jason had sent her that message I'd seen. I was spiraling, trying to connect the dots. I didn't want to believe that Sarah had been hiding something like this from me for our entire relationship, but it was becoming clearer that she had some unresolved past with this guy. Chapter 5. The Confrontation. I couldn't take it anymore. That night, I confronted Sarah. I showed her the email and asked, point blank, who Jason was and what she was hiding. The look on her face told me everything before she even spoke. She turned pale, and I could see the panic in her eyes. "Please let me explain," she said, her voice trembling. She admitted that Jason had been her first love, her high school sweetheart, and that they had broken up under complicated circumstances. But there was more. Sarah took a deep breath and said the words that shattered my world. "I was pregnant when we broke up." My mind went blank. Pregnant. "I never told him," she continued, tears streaming down her face. "I didn't know what to do. I was young, scared, and we were already drifting apart. I made the decision to have an abortion, and I never told anyone, not even Jason. I thought I'd moved on, but when he contacted me recently, all those feelings came rushing back. I was in shock. I had no idea she'd been carrying something so heavy for all these years. She'd never told me about the pregnancy, the abortion, or even how much Jason had meant to her." Chapter 6. The Fallout. That night was a blur of emotions. I was angry, confused, and hurt. I felt betrayed that Sarah had kept such a significant part of her past from me. It wasn't just that she had hidden the pregnancy. It was that she had never trusted me enough to be honest about it. Sarah explained that she didn't want to bring it up because she feared it would change the way I saw her. She had tried to bury that part of her life, thinking it was over, but Jason's recent contact had reopened old wounds. I didn't know what to do. Our entire marriage suddenly felt like a lie. How could she have kept something so huge from me? And why had she let this guy back into her life, even through email? It's been a few months now, and we've been trying to work through it in therapy, but I'm struggling. I love her, but I can't shake the feeling that our relationship isn't as solid as I thought. Every time I look at her, I wonder what else she's hiding, what other secrets she hasn't told me. I guess I'm posting this because I don't know where to go from here. Can a marriage survive something like this? Or has too much damage been done?